Have you noticed how often we look for solutions in AI instead of just googling it or checking forums? And I'm not even talking about books anymore. Code doesn't work? Ask AI. Don't understand the topic? Ask AI. Just bored? Ask AI. Hell, we even ask this one machine built on math and nothing but math about our personal problems. For example, yesterday AI wrote me code in 40 seconds. In my first year of college, the same code would have taken me a whole week. I sat there staring at the screen thinking, why am I even paying for a college education? Right now there are two types of people on the internet. The first type says, college is a scam. Give it 6 months with AI and you will be ahead for any graduate with a degree. Because AI helps you learn the exact skills you need for the job way faster. The second type says, without a strong foundation you are not a real programmer. You are just a monkey with a prompt who doesn't understand anything. And honestly, there is some truth in the two. Without deep knowledge, you can't build anything complex. And me, I'm stuck right in the middle. I'm still in college, and at the same time, I'm building a real product with AI every single day. So which side should I take? Let's start with college. While my professor is still explaining what the message queue even is in class 3, I already deployed RabbitMQ with a saga pattern. Because I just asked AI and figured it all out in one evening. Not one semester. One evening. And this isn't just a one-time thing, it's actually a systematic problem. Many college programs are years behind the real job market. In class they teach me things nobody asks about in real interviews anymore. And the stuff people actually ask about, Docker, CI/CD, message queues, I have to learn on my own in my free time outside of school. And you know what else is annoying? A college professor works on a schedule, 10 to noon on Tuesdays, but my AI mentor works at 3 in the morning. Exactly when I'm actually stuck and need answer right now, not after the next class. And on top of that, even Microsoft's own CEO said at the LlamaCon conference that around 20 to 30% of the code in the company's repositories is written by AI, though he noted the percentage varies a lot depending on the programming language. And let me tell you, that's a huge number for a giant project like this, where a single codebase can reach a million lines of code. So yeah, if you are arguing with someone who says college is a waste of time, they got some solid points. There is just one problem. They are forgetting the other half of the story. Okay, AI wrote the code. The code works. Beautiful. Now tell me, why does it work exactly that way? If you can't answer that question, you can probably fix a bug that might show up later in a more complex situation. Let me tell you a real example. I was working through migration RabbitMQ from version 3 to version 4. Volume configs, future flags, all the fun stuff that comes with it. And I sat there for 3 hours not understanding why the container kept crashing. AI kept giving me the same generic solutions over and over because it couldn't see the real picture. What actually saved me was that I already understood how Docker networking works under the hood. No prompt would have saved me there. And that's not even the scariest part. The scariest part is when AI confidently lies to you. It gives you code that looks completely normal. It compiles, it even passes basic tests, but inside, the logic is wrong, or it's an inefficient solution that will blow up in production a month later. For example, take a simple task calculating a discriminant. Here is some code AI gave me once, and nothing looks weird at first. If you compare it to the maths formula, everything checks out. And even when you plug in normal test data, you get the correct answer. But when you try some edge case, unusual input, you suddenly get the wrong result. The problem is floating point rounding in memory, something I didn't anticipate. Or more precisely, the person who originally wrote that kind of code didn't anticipate it, because AI learns from data that, believe it or not, was written by humans. And you can only notice this if you understand the fundamentals. Without that, you are just copying a beautifully formatted mistake. A study by a company called GitClear, which analyzed around 153 million change lines of code from 2020 to 2024, found something interesting. After Copilite got widely adopted, there was an increase in code churn, meaning code that gets added and then deleted again within just 2 weeks. And then at the same time, the amount of reused or properly refactored code went down. Here's more down to yours point. Want to relocate to the European Union on serious work visa? Almost no HR person is going to ask how good you are at writing prompts. They're going to ask for a diploma. But also solo coding doesn't prepare you for working on a team. In a company, AI can save you when you need to defend an architectural decision on a call in front of 5 senior engineers who never saw a prompt and don't want to. They need to explain the logic using your own brain. Okay, but what about all those headlines about mass layoffs at the big companies and everyone screaming on social media that programmers aren't needed anymore, that AI has replaced you? Yes, even Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff. For those who don't know, Salesforce is a CRM and cloud platform that gives companies tons of tools for both marketing and development. Confirms that the company supports have dropped from 9,000 to around 5,000 people. He said something like, "I need fewer people now because of our system called Agentforce." But then, in a separate interview in April 2026, he clarified that AI didn't fully replace Salesforce's engineers. About 15,000 of the company's engineers are still there, and their work is just significantly boosted by AI tools like Anthropic, OpenAI Codex, and Cursor. And he added that these models still can't work completely on their own, without human help. But IBM decided to do the opposite. They announced their tripling entry-level hiring in the US for 2026, including software developers, while a lot of other companies were cutting junior roles during the same period. IBM's HR director, Nicole Lamorix, explained this at Charter's Leading with AI Summit. He said companies that keep investing in junior employees now will come out ahead in 3 to 5 years, when the market will need experienced workers again. Interesting, isn't it? Some companies are betting on AI and laying off developers, while others are doing the opposite, cutting back on AI models and expanding their teams to find better talent. Because sometimes AI can actually cost several times more than a human worker. Tokens burn up incredibly fast when you're generating and analyzing code. And if you don't know how to write a good prompt, or how to properly stop a task for AI, you can easily burn through a quarter or even half of a programmer's monthly salary. So for big companies, humans are still the better option for now. But for small SaaS startups or smaller companies, it's obviously easier to let AI write the whole future and then just hire 2 or 3 developers to maintain it and make small fixes here and there. Based on all this, if you need your first job fast through outsourcing, staff augmentation, or a company that isn't a top tier one, vibe coding plus a strong portfolio can genuinely beat a diploma. But if you are aiming to become a senior engineer in 5 to 10 years at a top company with a relocation, the fundamentals are what really matter. AI speaks how you apply knowledge, but it can't pour that knowledge into your head for you. You have to use it wisely. It's an incredibly powerful tool, and whoever learns to use it with a clear head will gain real power. Like something straight out of movie. These days you don't need to spend years studying to become a programmer, like people used to. You can understand and break down any technology in one evening, right from your own home. But reading alone won't be enough without practice. You won't get far, no matter how much you want to. And even that shouldn't be a problem, because AI can give you projects that take just 1 week to build, while still helping you fully understand a new technology. And then it can even check your work for you. Let's go back to the beginning. AI wrote the code in 40 seconds, but it didn't write the reason why that solution is actually correct. And in that difference lies the whole answer to the question in this video's title. So for now, we can all sleep soundly. But let's see what happens a year from now.